An old abandoned house stood in a small village on the edge of a forest. The locals called it the Bloody House. No one dared to approach it, let alone enter. It was said that anyone who tried to stay there would never return. One night, a young man named Demas, who had recently moved to the village, heard the story about the house from his friends. Curious and not believing in mystical tales, Demas decided to spend the night there. He thought it was all just superstition. His friends warned him, but Demas remained resolute. As night fell, Demas walked toward the old house with only a flashlight and some food. Upon arrival, the house appeared far more terrifying than he had imagined. Ancient trees surrounded it, branches like thin hands reaching the sky. The cold night wind blew dry leaves around the house, creating an endless rustling sound. As soon as Demas opened the front door, a loud creak echoed, as if the house hadn't been opened in centuries. He stepped inside and immediately felt a bone-chilling cold. The floor creaked with every step. Inside, everything was in disarray, with old furniture covered in dust and cobwebs in every corner. Demas turned on his flashlight and began to explore the house. In every corner, he felt like someone was watching him, but each time he turned around, nothing was there. When he reached the stairs leading to the second floor, he heard footsteps above. His heart raced, but he calmed himself, thinking it was just rats. After reaching the second floor, Demas found a room with the door slightly ajar. Curious, he entered the room. On the wall, there was a large, blurry mirror. As he approached, he saw his reflection. Oddly, the reflection smiled at him, though Demas was not smiling. He quickly stepped back, feeling his skin prickle. Suddenly, the door slammed shut, and his flashlight died. Darkness enveloped the room. Panic set in as Demas tried to turn the flashlight back on, but it wouldn't work. In the darkness, he heard a soft sound, like a whisper calling his name. Demas. Demas. Demas turned, trying to find the source of the voice, but no one was there. The voice grew louder and closer until it sounded as if someone was whispering right in his ear. "You shouldn't have come here." With breath quickening, Demas tried to open the door, but it was locked. He pounded on the door, shouting for help, but his voice only echoed within the empty house. The whispers turned into laughter, cold and terrifying. Finally, the door opened on its own, and Demas ran out of the room, rushing down the stairs. He nearly stumbled several times, but he kept running, ignoring everything around him. When he finally made it out of the house, he felt a wave of relief, though the terror still gripped his heart. However, when he glanced back at the old house one last time, he saw something that made his blood run cold. In one of the upstairs windows, there stood a pale woman with black eyes, staring directly at him. She was smiling, the same smile as the reflection in the mirror. From that night on, Demas never spoke of what he experienced in the house. But every night, he would wake up with the feeling that someone was watching him from the darkness of his room. And one night, Demas disappeared without a trace. All that was left was a note he had written before he vanished: "Never go into that house. She will come for you." The villagers could only pray that the evil spirit in the old house wouldn't come for them. But somehow, they all knew that Demas would never return.